Alright guys, welcome back to another video here on the Dividend Doggo Show on YouTube, and it is a Saturday morning and I am filming an update. And while this weekend is going pretty wild, still unpacking, arranging the rooms, figuring out where I want stuff to go, all kinds of fun stuff going on this week. So let's go ahead and dive into the weekly review for the portfolio and see how we're doing overall. So as you can see, we're kind of on this kind of roller coaster of a week here as we go in and look. Let's dial this down to 1 month just to get kind of a look. As you can see, overall the portfolio is pushing up in the dividend category this week, and market gains are sitting around $127,931. Dividends, are just keep piling in, and that's the plan, right? It's a dividend portfolio predominantly, so that's the goal ultimately, is to raise this number up as much as possible over time safely, and continue to grow that snowball. So let's dial it down to the 1 month view and look at this roller coaster. So if we look at 1 month, we're down in market gain $4,900, but we have earned $1,159 in the 1 month view in dividends. So we're buying things a little bit cheaper overall. And if you look at the sectors, obviously utilities is up, consumers is up, the healthcare pie is up, but just about everything else is in the red, and finance is down a pretty whopping 7% on the month, real estate down 7% on the month, energy down 4.5%, monthly dividend stocks down 7% overall. So just looking at the 1 month view, that kind of gives us some perspective into like what's going on here. Now, obviously, this is the utilities pie is up so much on the 1 month because of the news of Vistra doing the share buybacks, the preferred shares. We just learned that Oaktree Capital sold off a chunk of shares, and supposedly they're the ones that are going to be buying a big chunk of the preferred shares as well. But we're going to see more details on that, I believe, in the next quarterly info and the next actual presentation, investor presentation that they put out. But overall, that definitely has been keeping the portfolio, kind of close to a green. It's hard to say that 0.5%, is all that big of a swing in 1 month, but it definitely, November was a kind of a rough month for the stock market overall. Now, if we dial this into 1 week, we saw some absolutely wild days this week where the portfolio was up $18,000 in 1 week, and I should have taken some screenshots. So throughout the week there was a roller coaster of red days and then green days. So when we dial this in, we see that we got $477 in dividends that are going to roll into the portfolio within the next month here. And then we see that we got some market gains, just barely getting some market gains at $1,593 in the green this week. We do have a bunch of red overall: healthcare, consumer, and utilities. Again, carrying these three sectors, literally carrying the portfolio forward for the month, or for the 1 week, for the returns here. There's been a lot of pessimism in the market, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD. With all of these sectors, we're seeing the impact of potential new strains and all kinds of, other fear. This is one of those times where I'm still just looking at what positions I really want to add to and what I want to buy. And as you can see, Costco was down 3% this week, which is pretty rare to see Costco down among, all of the other things in the sector just about were in the green. So that brings me into what the buys were for the week. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things here, but I do want to go in and show you. this was the buy for the week ending November the 29th. I put an order in and bought $1,250 of Costco. Now, because Costco is so expensive, this really isn't all that much in the way of shares. This is a whopping 2.2 shares. However, I think in the long run, years from now, I'm not really going to be too concerned about buying at a share price of $5.57. I think that this is potentially going to be one of those $700, $800 stocks over time, just because of the way that the company and the business are run and continue to keep going. Even amidst the global pandemic, I think they're going to still be pretty profitable. And it's hard to want to go into stores and stuff like that. It's just easy to go to a Costco and bulk pick up stuff once a month or once every other month and be good to go for a while and have good food storage and stuff like that. And also, man, the deals for Black Friday were great. I think we spent like $700 in Costco, just restocking some stuff for the new house and all that jazz. Now, I do want to talk about another buy that I did, which was into BST. This was on December 1st. I rolled, BST paid out its dividend, and I went ahead and rolled some extra money into that to go ahead and buy up another little chunk there. I'm trying to get that where the dividend is just over, I think it's like $20 every month. So then the next thing, I did sell out of NEE. I've been holding this for quite a while, and I decided to go ahead and condense this into Duke Energy, which both pays a little bit of a higher dividend. And it's just, I couldn't really decide that I wanted to hold on to NEE. Its valuation wasn't that great. It was great when it was pre-split, and it obviously rocketed up and was a green position for the portfolio overall. So I went ahead and trimmed that down completely and sold it into Duke. So I'm now really only holding Duke and VST in the sector there. Overall, I'm just gonna hold Duke and keep going with that. There may come a point where I eventually roll these just straight over into something like SCHD, just to have more broad diversification. This wasn't a huge position for the portfolio overall, and it just wasn't something that I care to keep track of going forward. And just was one of those that was on the list that I was like not that interested in holding anymore. I feel like it's had its run up, and I don't think it's going to continue to like outpace everything else. So let's go in and look here. We've got the buy that I did for BST. You can see the dividend was $18.38. I want to try to push that up to about $20 every month. That is just rolling in from BST. I combined ABR and BST and bought BST this cycle. ABR has performed exceptionally well through the downturn of the market and everything. It's absolutely wild that is the way that this is working out, that this is up over $200 a dividend payment now, is just kind of crazy to me. I'm not sure I really meant for this position to quite get that high, but I think I'm just going to let the dividend roll into other positions and build out other things from right now from going forward. PDI and PSX, those are two that I'm just going to be rolling into other positions as well. I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep PDI for very long. It's a high income fund. It's one of the only funds that I have that's that exceptionally high. I believe this is still around a 10% yield. So it's one of those that I'm just kind of holding on to, earning the dividend on, and rolling into other positions. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking like for right now for the next week going forward. Excuse me. You can see that there is a cash balance here of about $3,600. That is going to raise up a bit with dividends rolling in for the mid part of the month. I am going to be doing some buys. sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. And I'm going to be doing some buys throughout the rest of the month. I went ahead and deposited from the spend account the money that I'm just going to roll into the portfolio for the rest of the month. So I set aside right around $5,000 to be distributed over the course of the next 3 weeks for December. I really wanted to, push it a little bit further than my normal planned, like 3,300 in deposits for this month. We've had a lot of money go out for expenses with buying a house and, furnishings, and we've got to do a bunch of little repairs and things like that. So I wanted to end the year on a really high note and make sure that I'm doing my weekly buys, being very consistent. I'm not sure exactly what those buys are going to be, but don't be surprised if Costco keeps dropping at this rate. Like, I'm super happy to add to that Costco position. If it's going down a little bit every week, I'm exceptionally happy to keep buying and just dollar cost average in as it does come down a little bit. So overall, that's the current plan to finish off the end of the year. I'm hoping that we get some more green days going in, but I'm also not that sad if we get a couple red days so that I can distribute this last little push for the year to put more money into the portfolio. So overall, no other real position changes other than NEE. I will update the portfolio in the links down below. And let me know if you have any end of the year changes that you're making or what your goals are going to try to be for 2022. I am going to do an update video for the end of year to have a side-by-side comparison to the year before to see kind of what the progress of the portfolio was and what the overall earnings of the portfolio have been and the changes over the course of 1 year. I started the channel right around the beginning of the year. So the first video on the channel was the end of year 2020 going into 2021. So I'm super excited to see all that progress and see kind of where we've come. As you can see from the 1 year, we've earned 22,000 and we've still got a pretty decent chunk of dividends to come in December. VST pays out, I believe, on the 30th of December. So that's already going to be, that'll lock in, I believe, on the 15th. So this should push up right around $24,000, I believe, for this year. It's been a phenomenal year for dividends, market gains. Overall, the positions have done very well when I'm looking at the 1 year. You can see all of the sectors going through, but I'll get more into that once we're actually at the end of the year. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has done the referral links. We did have one more payment come in from that this week, which is absolutely awesome to see. The channel is now monetized, which is awesome. I think we're up to about $7 earned from YouTube. That has to get up to over 100, I think, before they even do a payout. But I will update y'all as that goes. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of insight into the dividend portfolio and getting to see the payments that have come in and see what I've invested in over the course of the week. So thank you very much for watching, and keep on investing and stay calm with the market being a roller coaster, because that's exactly what it is right now. Have a great day, be safe, and enjoy your time.